Yeah, let's get everybody caught up on what's going on.
News and notes from around the league.
All right, Peyton Manning, no longer a starter. He's been ruled out.
Already, it's
I guess
official.
not no longer a starter. He's injured.
Yeah. And
Nice.
it could be, we said yesterday it would be, he's going to miss at least a week, and it seemed like a week. But this could linger a little while longer. And so
Does that depend on how Brock Osweiler performs?
Of course not, Andy. They would never admit that. But yes, if Brock Osweiler comes in and does what I expect him to do, which is target Demaryius Thomas a lot and go from his height to DT's height, and performs well, and they go out and maybe score more than the teens, then, hey.
Peyton needs another week off.
Yeah, you need to really rest that thing. I pushed you in too quick. That was my fault as the coach. I'm not going to let you repeat a mistake.
So the matchup this week for Osweiler is the Bears. Do you have any solid opinions on how it affects position players in Denver? Are they going to lean on the run more?
No, I don't.
Can
think
you
they
lean
can.
on their run?
Exactly the problem. I don't think you can. I expect to see a lot more of the same. The only differences that I would expect would be, I think, some of Emmanuel Sanders' targets. He is super hurt right now. He had the concussion midway through the game, a finger problem, and that has nothing to do with the two injuries that were supposed to keep him out last
banged
week.
Up.
So I expect some of those targets that Peyton goes as a safety valve to Sanders to go Demaryius Thomas's route. We saw that, right? When Osweiler came in the game, he was really targeting DT. So I expect that to continue. And then you always wonder, who's that B-level wide receiver that when the backup quarterback comes in, just, that practice squad guy who's got the rapport with him.
What about Vernon Davis?
It's probably not Vernon Davis.
No, I mean, what did he have, 4 catches last week or 2?
I
thought he had a few catches. I mean,
I thought he was mostly worthless, but perhaps
he said he was very surprised that he wasn't used more because he's supposed to be involved more and more in the game. He had 2 catches for 19 yards on 4 targets. Yeah, all right. No fantasy relevance yet.
Yeah, none there.
Should he be owned and stashed or just ignore him?
I would completely ignore him personally. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, Osweiler could maybe use him as a safety valve, but I just don't see that happening.
And today we're going to talk about waiver wire, so there's probably guys on there that you'd rather have than Vernon Davis.
Exactly, yes.
All right, big news. TJ Yeldon in a walking boot for an injury to his foot. He is highly questionable for Thursday's game.
Yeah, and I think as we get to the waiver wire, we'll talk about the backfield situation there and who we should have. I don't believe they have a good matchup this week, so that kind of hurts the value of, a Denard Robinson or a Toby Garrett.
Yeah, but man, a starting running back, if you can get one.
Absolutely. They're valuable.
It's worth a shot.
Got to spend for them.
Unless it's out for blue. All right, the Rams have benched Nick Foles for Case Keenum.
Good for you. You go out and
Ew.
trade for a guy, and then you pay him
Ugh.
and sign an extension for him, and you have to swallow pride.
Face palm.
You have to swallow pride to do the right thing. And the truth is,
8 straight games with under 200 yards.
Foot Clan, can I just give a little soapbox,
Yeah, I wish I had the drop for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to make that one.
Well, it's not a fantasy soapbox. It's a human soapbox.
Okay.
Pride is a killer. Pride is going to kill you. You swallow your pride whenever you can, and you eat it, and you will be better off for it. And so I believe that Case Keenum will be a far better option than Nick Foles, and it should be good for the Rams offense. Now, by far better, I mean he'll be, the quarterback 26, 25. I'm not saying start Case Keenum, but I am definitely saying better than Nick Foles.
And isn't there a bit of irony in the fact that now TJ Yates
and
Case Keenum
yeah.
are getting starts this week, and somewhere Matt Schaub is remembering his backups.
I don't want to go too far in what I say, but I like Case Keenum as a quarterback. I mean, I never thought he just never got the respect that I believe he deserved with his play.
Somewhere he's recording this.
Yeah.
And going to play it back over and over again.
There you go.
Well, Hakeem Nicks has shown his face once more. In the classic James Jones fashion, he is now signed by the Giants.
Yeah. Probably meaningless.
Just taking the roster spot of Victor Cruz, no fantasy relevance.
Yep.
All right, Allen Hurns, there's been a lot of reports, if you've been following on various apps or RotoWorld, any of those places. Hurns had visited a specialist about his abdomen, and there was concerns about sports hernia surgery, those type of things. What's the latest on Hurns?
The latest on Hurns is that he is actually expected to play. It was looking highly doubtful, but the truth is all year Hurns has been injured. All year he has missed practice. All year, as the weeks have gone on, every week it's more and more likely that he's going to sit, and he hasn't sat, and he hasn't not been in the end zone the entire time. It's 7 straight
1, 2,
games
3, 4, 5, 6, 7
with a touchdown. So Allen Hurns is a guy that you do need to monitor. You need to make sure he's active, but if he's active, he's in your lineup. And so another public service announcement, when you have injured guys, you are so much more weary to put them in your wide receiver spot. You want them in your flex spot because you feel like it gives you more flexibility. This is a Thursday night game. Put him, if you're going to start him, do not start him in your flex spot, because then that takes, come Sunday and some other injury happens during the week. Oh no, I can't put a running back in there, which I needed to do. Put him in your wide receiver spot, leave your flex open. Never start Thursday guys in that flex.
Yeah, completely. A great tip. Allen Hurns or Eric Decker this week?
Eric Decker.
Okay.
Every week.
He's your favorite player.
I love him so much, and actually both of these guys have a really good rest of season and a good fantasy playoff schedule. There's so many questions. Who are you guys targeting in the playoffs? Both of those guys. Hurns scares me a little bit more because it's hard in the NFL to withstand that many injuries all year long and never actually miss the game. Decker is healthier, so I would prefer Decker, but both of these guys are guys that I would target because you can still somehow get them cheap. People don't always believe in those wide receiver twos.
Now, last bit of news that I have here, they're on bye this week, but the Browns have come out and said Johnny Manziel will be starting in ahead of Josh McCown. I'm not sure what to make of it. Manziel has looked okay, and he offers fantasy owners his legs. He just offers them to you.
He says you can have them, you can shave them, you can do whatever you want with them.
With Harry's. But yes, so Manziel last week is a pretty good example. He threw for some yardage, but he only had one touchdown pass.
He had a pick and a fumble.
And but he ran for,
like 20 yards, something like that.
Yeah, so I don't know. They're trying to keep him in the pocket. He's playing okay. I don't have big expectations. I guess there's a chance he's a streamer one of these weeks.
Yep, I expect that as the year goes on, we will pick him to be a streaming candidate, and he will perform great in certain matchups, but he's not going to be a guy that you want to go out and sign other than for that single week to play him. So don't worry about picking him up right now, especially on the bye.